Janet Yellen, the U.S. Treasury Secretary, recently said in an interview that there's no sticker shock at the grocery store. So here's the clip. Listen closely because she barely mumbles it, and you can barely hear it if you're not paying attention. But she says, no, there's no sticker shock.
Secretary Yellen, have you been to the grocery store lately?
I sure have. I go every week.
It's sticker shock, isn't it?
No.
I just, when you look at shipping costs, those have come down.
What do you mean, no? I mean, seriously? What is it with these people who are literally in charge of the economy being so out of touch with what the average American is facing every single day? Now, I don't know what grocery store she shops at, but I'd love to go there. Because as someone who actually goes to the grocery store, just like I'm sure you do, you're probably laughing right now because it's blatantly obvious to the average person that there absolutely is sticker shock on many household necessities. And it's honestly frightening how out of touch our leaders, our economic leaders are in regards to what the average American is facing every single day. Now, on the other hand, I want to show you another clip of a man who compared his exact same grocery bill for the exact same things today compared to 2 years ago. Now, how much do you think that bill has increased? 30%? 50%? 100%? Remember, the technically correct inflation number, according to the data from 2019 to now, is around 21%. Here, take a listen to this video, and then afterwards we'll talk about a couple of other things that Janet Yellen said in that interview that are somehow worse.
I feel like I'm gonna be sick. I just, looked through my Walmart history, and I found this, Walmart order from 2 years ago for the whole month worth of groceries. 45 items cost $126. A whole month of groceries just for me, basically. But I did notice this reorder all button, and I wanted to see how much it would cost now. Now, this order of 45 items for 1 month would have cost $414. That is 4 times more. How?
So, you tell me, which one sounds more like real life to you? The first video of Janet Yellen saying that there's no sticker shock? Or that second video of that man's order basically quadrupling in price in literally just the last 2 years? Or maybe it's both. Maybe there's no sticker shock simply because we've become numb to the insane price increases that most people are experiencing every single time they go buy something. Food for thought. Here's the thing. That interview with Janet Yellen, I watched the entire thing. And what's even more concerning is that's not even the worst thing that she said. She also said that she believes most price increases are due to increases in costs for businesses, alluding to the idea that most of the inflation that we have experienced has nothing to do with corporate greed.
Well, I think largely it reflects cost increases, including labor cost increases that grocery firms have experienced.
Now, we can argue all day about how much inflation is caused by corporate greed. In fact, I myself have videos specifically saying that, in my opinion, most inflation comes directly from way too much money printing and quantitative easing in 2020 and 2021. And I stand by that. All that money and money and money added to an economy that just was not ready for it absolutely was the primary cause of inflation. But to dismiss corporate greed entirely, no way, Jose. Corporations have always been good at one thing above all else, and that is taking advantage of a situation or an opportunity presented to them. Monetary policy definitely caused inflation. But to think that corporations haven't absolutely hidden price increases and continue to ride the wave of inflation as an excuse and a cover for those price increases would be akin to being blind. Is Janet Yellen blind? I don't think so. But is she maybe out of touch? Probably. She also went on to say that she and the CEOs of major corporations had talked about how most Americans are struggling right now. Wait, so yes, they're struggling, but no, there's not sticker shock? Which is it? Anyways, she said that these corporations had agreed to push down prices on basic necessities. And in her opinion, that's something that should be applauded.
Earlier today, I met with a group of CEOs, including the CEO of Target, and they explained and they've announced that they understand that households are struggling with costs, including food costs, and they have undertaken cuts in the price of bread, milk, diapers, other core purchases that are necessities for households. And I think that's to be applauded. I think that kind of thing is helpful.
So she talked to CEOs about pushing down the prices of things which have had their prices inflated a ton over the last few years. So if I increase my prices by 400% and then decrease them by a third, is that really commendable? Look, the fact of the matter is plain and simple. What the average American is feeling on a day-to-day basis and what the data says are two completely different things. And in order to highlight that, let's simply go over the most recent inflation numbers. And then you can let me know if they sound accurate or not. Okay. Let's go over the numbers for headline inflation, core inflation, gasoline inflation because you have to drive to the store, meats, breads, milk, eggs, butter, fruits and vegetables, fish, and coffee. And we'll do all price increases comparing to 1 year ago. Okay, so headline inflation is coming in at 3%, which means on average things have increased 3% or 3 cents on every dollar from 1 year ago. Core inflation, which removes volatile assets like food and energy prices, which is exactly what the average person feels every single day, came in at 3.3%, which means that if you exclude your food prices and exclude your fuel prices, prices of things have gone up 3.3 cents for every dollar from last year. Okay, now let's get into the specifics. Fuel has increased 1% from last year. Meats have increased 3.5% from last year. Bread has increased 1.1% from last year. Milk is actually down 1%. Eggs have increased 10.2% from last year. Finally, a number that sounds maybe reasonable. Fruits and vegetables are actually apparently down 0.5% from last year. Fish is apparently down as well 1% from last year. Butter is up 6.9% from last year. Again, finally something that seems maybe approaching what the average person is feeling. And coffee apparently is down 1.6%. And remember, all these numbers are from 12 months ago. But that guy in that video compared prices from just 2 years ago, and it looks like they've quadrupled in price. So, which one seems more accurate? Feel free to let me know in the comments. Here's the thing though. One of the main reasons why the inflation numbers or the data doesn't always seem to line up with reality is because the CPI basket, the things that make up the consumer price index, can be changed at will, whenever, supposedly to best represent the average person's expenses. Or is it to best mask what's actually going on so the inflation data doesn't seem that bad? I don't know. You tell me.